situation where this is a pattern I've noticed in the last decade, especially where being not a bigot or whatever, just to use a broad term, is worse than actual murder. You could not, if you misgender somebody, that's worse than killing people, is what we've come to notice with these trans shooters.
It is murder, but murder is not as murderous as misgender.
Yeah,
The word
and
I would like to call that person, I can't say right now because there's a toddler next to me.
Um, my
spell
my
it.
question is, did they never grow up knowing sticks and stones may break my bones, but words won't ever hurt me?
Hit me.
Really? Oh my God, you are that fragile that a word hurts your soul that you're like, oh my God, I must commit murder? If you were seriously, seriously that unhinged, um, we have things called 5150s, and let's go do a mandatory 72-hour hold in a nice padded room with a straitjacket and you being looked at through a little tiny glass window. Yeah, that's exactly where we need to put you.
Now, I saw one statistical graph which I most likely forgot to hit the like button on. That it was basically like the statistics of people who commit mass shootings, and it was like twice as high for it was for the number was the same for trans females and trans men, and it was about twice as high as Asian men, which Asian men was about twice as high as white men, and black men were slightly higher than white men. So trans people are a even bigger disproportionate statistical group of in the population, and they commit an insane more amount of mass shootings than literally everybody else.
Well, I
It's
wonder
It's not
why.
even close.
What's wrong with them that's not getting treated?
Yeah, they're the one thing that is making them sick is the one thing that everybody is affirming. They have a grand delusion that something is actually wrong with the physical body that they were born in. For some reason or another, whether it be a trauma or a sexual gratification, if it's a sexual gratification, I do not consent to your sexual kink. Keep it away from me and my family, you nasty little perv. If it is because you have an actual gender or body dysmorphic disorder, then I pray and hope for your safety and well-being, and that you actually go and take care of the trauma that's causing it. Because when you only affirm it, that's only going to harm it more. You don't affirm somebody with anorexia. You don't affirm somebody with bulimia. Go ahead and tell an anorexic person, "Oh yeah, you are so fat. Go ahead and keep doing it. No, you don't need to eat anything. No, not at all. You're so gross." Tell a bulimic person, "No, no, no. You are so fat. Watch how fast that they binge and purge." No, you don't do that because it's killing them. And what pisses me off is I have degrees in psychology. And the very, 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 very first thing in Psych 101 is do no harm. So why the hell are you affirming these people? Why are you allowing this delusion to go on? I can't fathom it.
I'm trying feverishly to find this.
Yeah, like
I found it.
therapy
Found
can
it.
really help you. Like if the therapist is like actually doing their job, like and like just sort of listening to you, letting you sort
Holy
of work it
shit.
out.
Yes.
It's good.
Look at that.
That's
Those
that's big numbers.
statistics are astronomical. And yes, 100% Rebel is right. A real therapist giving you real help can help you get to the bottom of your trauma and make you be a better person, a stronger person, and a more resilient person.
Look at this.
It brings you such clarity. Like I went through like I think I was like 10 sessions once when I was going through my divorce, and she didn't tell me what to do. She didn't guide me anywhere. She just let me talk and sort of prompted me here and there. And I was just like, it made you think about it. And like, honestly, it was like almost mentally the best I've ever felt like after going through it.
Oh, Sean found the chart. Oh,
Yeah,
sorry, I didn't see
sometimes
it.
just like airing stuff out, like that's all you need. You don't sometimes you don't need affirmation. You just need someone to kind of talk it all out with. Because like when you say it out loud, you kind of have that moment where you go, "Oh, wait a minute."
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, exactly.
You
And
need
like
that
a lot
sounding
of
board.
people that are like your friends or family or stuff like that, you like may tell them things and then they just say, "Oh, you're blowing it out of proportion. Oh, like why aren't you just happy? Like you have this and this going on for you. Like I don't understand why you're upset about it." And
Yeah,
then,
Sean found a similar graph, but it doesn't split it up by male or female. But so
mm,
I'm interested by this bottom one actually. Forget about the trans stuff. Asian women do more mass shootings than Hispanic men.
Yes.
I would have never thought such a thing with
No,
my.
look at
they're more of it's a machete.
Oh yeah. No.
Why you cheat on me? Why you cheat on me? You no good. No,
No, they're so repressed over there that they end up snapping. Men
shoot your
jump from
family.
buildings, women go for guns. It is like one of the weirdest things I've ever read when I was taking my classes in my master's courses. This was a legitimate thing. Like men jump from buildings. They commit suicide. They do seppuku. Not
seppuku.
seppuku. Fuck the.
They do Sudoku.
Sudoku. Yeah,
No,
no.
it's seppuku.
Yeah, there we go. Seppuku.
My Sudoku does make me want to quit.
There you go. But yes, you understand. They kill themselves.
Now, Asian men,
versus
I get why
going
Asian men are so high.
postal. Asian women's go postal. They'll legitimately shoot it up.
I get why Asian men are so high because Asian men are always the butt end of every fucking joke, whether it's from black people or white people. I mean, even me, I just went, "Oh no, I didn't do this." So that especially in school, they probably get picked on, and the whole meme about them having small huangs. You know what I mean? Like, I could see why they would be. And for these, it's the same thing. Like, you're pumping them with chemicals they naturally don't have in their bodies, and they're being told by a big segment of the population that we don't need to believe in your delusions, and then the media feeds that back to them like these people literally want to ruin your lives, even though the media is the one ruining their lives. And these people snap. So this motherfucker killed 10 motherfucking people, and you got this homosexual fucking investigator basically like, I'm not, we're gun person. It's like, I'm a gun person. What do you mean gun person, bro? Like, a gun person sounds like you're describing someone who's a gun enthusiast. Oh, they're
Or
a gun
someone
person.
who identifies as a gun. I identify as an AK. My nouns are A and K.
Those are
Right.
Laura's pronouns. A and K.
I know, right? AK. I know. 49.
Let's see what this exuberant homosexual has to say.
We believe we've been able to identify the shooter, but for privacy reasons and obviously for the conduct of the investigation, we're not releasing that information at that time until we're assured that we've connected with the appropriate people.
Oh my god.
You're assured that you've connected with the appropriate people.
Yeah, we don't want there to be. And then I see these tweets from these losers in Canada like, hold your trans friends tightly. You don't want it's like, bro, why wouldn't, like, first of all, this is like the thing that is like destructive about liberalism and why it doesn't make sense, and why, even though I hate the Republican Party, I will err on the side of pinching my nose and mostly voting for them because the inconsistency of when this happens with somebody else doing a mass shooting, then it's all of a sudden we have to do this, and this. But when it happens with these, quote, marginalized groups, then it's just like, we don't want these marginalized groups that just killed people and have a pattern of killing people en masse in the last 5 years especially. We don't want them to have anything happen to them. It's like, well, what about the innocent people that had nothing to do with any of this shit?
100%.
I don't give a fuck about that.
They don't care about the actual victims. They don't
Yeah,
care.
I was gonna say, when did we stop caring about the victims and caring about the perpetrators. That doesn't make sense.
Well,
Welcome to
you see,
Marxism.
obviously the perpetrator is more important because they're trans. The victims, who cares about the
They were just
victims?
normal people.
They're just normal
it's just
people.
normie.
They don't matter.
Yeah, like what's their loss to the world? We lost this beautiful trans person.
Sean-
We
my
lost the
God.
beautiful, and it's important that we recognize them as they are scum on the earth, and they do not deserve any respect.
Sean says something interesting. He says it's wild that trainers are basically only sick demographic that Canada isn't trying to kill in the MAID program.
Yeah, that's true.
It's all
Now-
about it's like what we said last night on Nightcap. Basically, they want people. They're training foot soldiers for their Marxism. They don't want people to have families. The only thing they want them to be attached to is themselves, and then they convince them that this other group that's fighting for freedom and family, et cetera, are a direct threat to their egoism, I guess.
Yeah.
I just
Well-
like can you believe we have to did they care about fucking Dylan Roof when he shot up a church? They didn't give a shit about fucking saying things about but this trans person. Oh. And that's not defending, but it's just this is what I'm saying about the inconsistency here.
Well, see, there's the difference though. They went after a church versus just random people. That one wasn't trans. This one is. So how dare you not understand the distinction?
Yeah, the plight
Oh
of
my
trans
God,
people.
how tone deaf are you?
Bro, they're basically saying what they're basically
well-
saying is that the trans plight is so bad that they literally are allowed to murder people because life is hard for them. What?
Well, honestly, you know what? I wish and I pray and I pray and I wish that people would stop accepting and stop tolerating trans people. I'm sorry. Because you have a mental health condition does not give you the right to infringe upon me or my rights. If somebody has schizophrenia, it does not excuse their behavior for attacking somebody. I had 3 friends murdered by their mother because she was schizophrenic. Do you think that they just didn't take her to jail because, oh, she had a psychotic break and she planned the murder over 8 months? No! They hauled her in, they took her in, they made sure to give her an assessment first, and then she spent part of her jail sentence in rehab. And as soon as she was competent, they moved her ass to fucking jail. She murdered 3 people. She murdered her own sons. And
I'm surprised she didn't get the chair.
we don't have the chair up here in Alaska.
Man, I gotta tell you, man.
All of these people really, 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 really piss me off because if people would stop affirming trans people in general, I don't care how nice they are. I don't care how harmless they are. No. The homeless person on the street having a mental break, they're harmless until they're not.
Well,
No. We're not
you're-
doing this anymore. I'm tired of affirming trans people. Every single one of them needs to go to therapy and an actual therapist. And any therapist who dares to affirm this crap should immediately have their license revoked. And then they honestly need to have their brains assessed because what the fuck is wrong with you?
There's also a bit of a hypocrisy too, where it's anytime someone on the right does something bad, the left will sit there and complain about it for 8 years, 10 years, 12 years, 15 years. But yet, when something happens, something bad happens, and the person turns out to be a lefty or someone that identifies with left politics or what have you. What? Who?
Yeah,
No.
they're
Oh
talking
no, we
about
need to
Timothy
feel bad
McVeigh.
for them.
They're
It's-
still
it's
talking about
hypocrite.
Timothy McVeigh all the time.
Yep.
Timothy McVeigh. That happened when I was in 8th grade. It was a long
It's just
time ago.
the disconnect between the disconnect between the common sense. Kind of ironic that I'm struggling to put the string of thought together while talking about common sense. There's a disconnect that they have that is just starting to get really flipping annoying.
The media, I talk about this all the time. Well, not all the time, but occasionally. The media has somewhat not somewhat, but within maybe the last, they really hyped it up since Obama got elected, but I think they probably started doing it a little bit before that. They've convinced people that the worst crime possible is to essentially, to use an umbrella term, to be, quote, bigoted, even if you're not actively acting upon such bigotry. You know what I mean? Oh, damn it, Tyler. Did you not read? Did you not read the fucking title of the show? Damn it. Anyway, they've convinced people that essentially being even not acting upon the bigotry, but being a bigot is the worst possible crime imaginable, even more so than death, even more so than assaulting someone, even more so than murdering somebody. That is the most biggest crime there can possibly be, and that's basically how they teach it in school. If you're being racist, if you're being discriminated against, it's essentially you have now leeway to murder your, quote, oppressors. This is what they've trained people for years, okay? And people are convinced on this. People, when Tyler talked about that story of a guy who stabbed someone, and then that person he stabbed called him the N-word, and then the courts let the guy who stabbed them off because no racism, even though his racism was a reaction to being stabbed. It's insane. It's utterly insane. But
did you see that like subway video the other day where the girls are like yelling at that girl, and then she like gets out of the doors and like calls them the N-word, and then like the doors close and they all like freak out. They're like, ah!